Welcome to the MGMH podcast. I'm Ratnika Nain, and today we have Anchit with us. Anchit Magee, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, hey everyone, I'm Anchit here, and I'm a guitarist and a singer, and I also write songs and I release them.
As simple as that. So tell me,
Yeah,
Anchit, you started releasing your original music this year. Tell
yeah.
us about what you did before this year. What's your background? Have you been playing a lot of shows? Have you, done stuff with other people? What's the scene?
So basically, I started out as a guitarist only. I used to sing very less, and I wasn't confident about that. So I was primarily a guitarist, and I worked in bands as a guitarist. And I joined DU. I joined Venkateshwara College, and I got into the DU circuit scene, and I played in the festivals and bands as a guitarist. And after that, I started writing some songs, and I couldn't find anyone to sing with me, so I just started singing them myself. And I've been for the past, I think, 2 years, I've just been recording and writing songs, but I never really thought about releasing them. But all of this happened and everyone is at home, and I planned to release everything, but I never got around to it. So I thought this was a good opportunity to just, release some songs without thinking too much about it.
Because the gigging and everything has kind of stopped and
Yeah,
stalled.
everything has stopped. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that is something we've been seeing a lot of in the last 3, 4 months, even from CD Baby's point of view and stuff. We have seen like a 60, 70% increase in
Exactly.
distribution.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's something we will see across all distributors. So I think
Yeah, for
artists,
sure.
yeah, they're just suddenly waking up and be like, hey, let's take our music.
Exactly. So everyone was into gigging and practicing and jamming, and no one thought about releasing anything. Now they have no other choice but to release some music.
Exactly. So, I mean, I know you took out your first song in the beginning of this year, right? And it was called Figure It Out.
Yeah, you'll figure
Yeah.
it out. Yeah.
So you're one of the few artists, or well, there are a bunch of them, but a few independent artists who's releasing both Hindi and English songs. So you don't
Yeah.
really stick to one language. A lot of other artists like Hanita Bamri and stuff also do that, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So what song would you like us to listen to your first song?
Yeah, I think figure it out should be a great start because that was my start in music also. So
All
yeah.
right. And before we listen to it, could you tell us a little bit about the song? Like what inspired you to write it? What's it about?
Yeah, sure. So basically Figure It Out was one of my first songs, and I think it was my first song in which I produced the entire song. So I made up the drums and the keys and everything for it. Before that, I only used to write like acoustic songs. So the thinking behind this song and the title is that, especially in the transition from school to college, I think every student is very, very confused about what to do with their life because they're not sure about what their true interests are and things like that. So when I got into college, I was very confused just like them, and I didn't know what to do, and I was kind of freaking out in my head.
Mhm.
So this is just for that, like, you don't need to stress about it too much. Eventually everything will work out and you'll figure it out, and and you'll get your priorities straight. And a part of it is also like, in life I never wanted to go all professional and no personal. Like, I need to have a work life balance, right? So this is also about that. Like, I don't need to do just work. I need to give time for myself also. So a part of it is also that you
That's
hear some lyrics in this, which are like, do you have time to do the things that you'd like to do
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's also a big part of it for me, like to figure out a balance.
So do you, besides playing music, did you before COVID or even now, did you have a day job, like a normal day job, non-music day job?
No. I was just a student, and I was just in college 24/7 with my society and classes. So I didn't really do have time for any of that.
All right. All right. Well, perfect. So I think figure it out is a great thing because I think a lot of people right now are also trying to figure it out what the future is, what's going to
Exactly.
happen. So, yeah, let's listen to Figure It Out by Anchit.
You seem to know me well. You seem to keep in check. You seem to come around to me. You love the lights and fares. You can't be everywhere. You seem to live so close to me. Do you make time to believe? Or does it come naturally? Do you have things all planned out? Or will you just figure it out? Oh, are you living life? Or is life living you? Oh, are you happy in this mood? Do you have time to spare? Is it too much to bear? To see the things that you would like to? Do you make time to believe? Or does it come naturally? Or do you have things all planned out? Or will you just figure it out?
All right. So that was an amazing song. It's actually one of my favorite songs of yours. It's just so catchy. There's just something about it. It just stays in your head. I'm not very good with giving reviews, and I don't actually do that. But there's just something. There's some songs that kind of just stay with you, and
Yeah.
so going into how you got into it, one of the main reasons I wanted to start the interview section of my podcast with you is because it's always easy to interview more established musicians because they've
Yeah.
had things happen. But for you, you started off just when kind of when COVID kind of hit, that's when the songs were coming out. So, I mean, how difficult was it for you to get that visibility to kind of get your music out there?
Yeah. So basically, when I was thinking of putting my music out, it seemed like an impossible task, because I absolutely had no clue where I would start. And this was around, I think, a couple of years ago when I started writing some songs, but I didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
So after like a year or something, I attended the course which you do, the music business course. And that gave me a lot of ideas in my head, and I just had a very organized structure about what I will do when I release some songs.
Mhm.
And then this COVID struck, which is obviously not a very good thing because all of my gigs and everything went down the hill. But it also gave me some time to really analyze about releasing stuff and what I'll do. So I just made like a sort of set list kind of thing about what all things I can do before releasing and after releasing. And so basically, then I talked to you about it. I'm thinking of releasing some songs, and you said it's a good idea right now.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just started to type in this stuff on CD Baby, and I submitted my first song. Very excited. And after that, as soon as I submitted it, I immediately thought that it was a terrible idea, that it wouldn't turn out well at all. I don't know what I have done, why I've done it.
Mhm.
So then it all led to me thinking about social media. And I'm not very good with social media in general. Like, I don't post a lot, in my life like that. So it was really tough for me to plan stuff out. But there are some things which you can do which are pretty easy. You can do a couple of teaser videos, and you can do a lyric video and stuff like that. And for me, the tactic which worked out great was memes.
Mhm.
So a friend of mine just sent me a couple of memes, and I thought that it'll be great if I post these. I said I'll get some engagement. And after that, as soon as I posted them, so many people just started sending me memes about figure it out. And because the title is figure it out, you can make many memes out of it. Somebody sent me a meme called what's the song called. It said figure it out. What's the song called? So those kind of memes really took off, and I got engagement also because many people sent it to me.
Yeah.
So that was a good tactic which I used. Now it's all about doing different stuff. So I'm not a fan of the basic aesthetic feed.
Mhm.
It works for some people, it doesn't work for some people. It doesn't work for me because it's not really me, and I
Yeah.
want to put out me in social media.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's one of the things I really liked. I loved the way you actually used. I mean, I was like a proud teacher at that point where I'm like, he actually learned that social media is important, and things like that. But I mean, and there are lots of people who use social media, but what I loved was you made it so simple. And I don't think it was, it was just memes and little videos, but it was so simple. And I think one of the biggest issues is that independent artists think that you need to spend a lot of money to get visibility. And that is something that I really want to change and educate the artists about, that look, you don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't
exactly,
need a 1 lakh budget to make music videos and all of that. You can do things online for so cheap.
exactly.
And it became viral. I mean, if your friends and other people were sending you memes, it just it kind of picked up,
Yeah,
and that's what you
that
want.
was the main thing behind it. Basically, I didn't think it would go viral, but because it's memes and everyone likes memes and everyone likes making memes and being funny, it just kind of went with it and became viral on its own. And these days the whole world is on the internet, and mostly everything is free.
Mhm.
So you can really easily do your own PR and make up your own social media strategy and go about it like that. You don't need any money to do that.
Yeah, and you don't need to hire a PR company and all of that. And I believe you've been picked up by you've been getting some coverage from the music magazines and stuff as well, and
Yeah.
that's also all have happened organically.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, along with every song I release the same day or sometimes even a week before that in a separate folder, I send my songs to all of these magazines.
Hmm.
The Rolling Stone, Rock Street Journal, Indian Music Diaries, and all of them. I just send emails to them, and I follow up with them and stuff like that. So if you do that consistently, your stuff will be picked up, and it's important to not get demotivated if something doesn't happen, because
Exactly.
that will happen for sure.
Yeah.
Not every song will be picked up, not every song will get many plays. The
Yeah.
important thing is just to keep doing it consistently, and something will definitely turn up right.
All right, exactly. Now, before I go into the kind of emails you sent to the media guys, because that's another question a lot of people ask, I want to play the next song. Now, this song is in Hindi,
Yeah,
and this song has what, crossed over 100,000 streams on
yeah,
Spotify? And that's all organically. I mean, I know you got picked up by a couple of playlists, but that is also all organic. We pitch,
yeah,
you pitch, but at the end of the day, who gets picked up is completely up to the DSPs, to the
exactly.
platforms.
Yeah.
But yeah, what count has it reached now? Over 100,000, right?
Yeah, I think over 110,000. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So you want to tell us a little bit about this song and introduce it?
For sure. So, as I start telling my explanations behind the songs, you get that my songs have a kind of a theme, which is, I'm just telling myself constantly to be chill about life. So, this song is called La Parva, which means, careless or
Yeah.
carefree in some ways. So, this was again about, not taking stress about everything in life and just being a little careless about it. Not too careless, but just stop thinking about everything that you're doing. Sometimes just be laparva and live a little. So this is about that.
Perfect. All right. So let's listen to La Parva.
यूं ही तो है तू मुसाफिर खड़ा, यही तो है रास्ता। मुश्किल बड़ी हो या ना हो, अगर यूं ही लिखी दास्तां। यूं ही नहीं है तू लापता, क्या था जो तूने कहा? पूछे कहाँ है तेरा कारवां, है क्या कोई यहाँ? सोचे क्यों जिंदा है, क्या है ये कोई सजा? यूं ही है मुश्किल है ये समा, ये जहां। यूं ही तो है तू मुसाफिर खड़ा, यूं ही मैं तेरे बिना। है क्या ये जो ना भरे मन तेरा, तूने क्या सोचा बड़ा? यूं ही नासा है ये जिंदगी, यूं ही ना मैं हूँ यहाँ। मुश्किल है ये दोस्ती जो तेरी, क्यों है तू खोया हुआ? क्यों सोचता है तू जी ले जरा लापरवाह? क्यों तेरे दिल ने न माना है मेरा कहा? मुश्किल है जो है ये जिद्दी पना तेरा। थम जा जरा एक पल, दिल खोल अपना। यही तो है तू मुसाफिर खड़ा, किसका तुझे इंतजार? पल दो पल की है राह तेरी, क्यों ना रहे तू लापरवाह?
All right. That was an amazing song, and I can see why it has crossed so many, so many hundreds of streams or whatever you want to call it. So I want to, so like you said, it obviously you pitch for playlisting through Spotify for artists app and things like that. How early do you normally do it? 2, 3 weeks in advance?
For sure. I do it a month in advance because, it's just better to do it before then until it is
100%.
like too late. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is something that I feel like a lot of musicians don't understand. They want to pitch it 2, 3 days, one day. Everybody reaches out. They're like, I have a release in 1 week. And I'm like, what's the point
Yeah.
of
And
releasing it in a
there are kind of, I get that side because when you make a song, you're very, very excited to release it.
Mhm.
But it like I also thought about doing that, but it only hurts your career as a musician if you kind of try to rush everything. It's better to have everything planned out and upload the song at least a month or two in advance. And by the time it gets to Spotify, it'll be like 2, 3 weeks, and then pitch it to them so they have time. It's very important to give everyone time to do their own thing.
Exactly. And also, have you used tools like Spotify pre-save campaigns? I know, certain
Oh yeah.
distributors like CD Baby give you that option. Do you feel
Yeah.
that is important did that help you?
Oh, for sure. I think it's very important. And, I use CD Baby for all distributing. So you don't really need anything else. If you have CD Baby, you will get all of the features they have on your, dashboard. So you can go to show.com and pre-save, or you can get followers for a campaign. You can do all of that. So I think pre-save is a very good option because it also, like, along with helping the Spotify
Mhm.
algorithm, if
Yeah, yeah,
have many pre-saves, it
yeah.
also helps you with your social media content. So you can talk about the pre-save, you can talk about how it will be added and stuff like that. So it really helps you out if you
Yeah.
could do that. It
Yeah.
brings your engagement up.
Exactly. So these are all just tips. I mean, people are free to choose whichever distributor. I mean, you just happen to use CD Baby, but
Yeah.
it's very important for artists to realize that you need to have a social media plan. You need to upload things at least a month to 6 weeks or whatever in advance. Plan
So,
how you're going to promote it. So now let's talk about how to reach out to press. I always tell people do this, do that, but I think firsthand knowledge is very different. And I feel like, and people are always like the bigger artists get picked up. Well, you just started. You're not that known up till now in the industry. And tell me, when you
yeah.
wrote to all these newspaper or magazine guys, first off, how did you find their email address? What was the steps that you took to kind of get them?
Yeah. So basically, you know, I was also very confused about this, how to go about this. But the basic thing is you just go to their website, you find out their contacts, or you go to their Facebook page and you go to the contact section,
Hmm.
and you just look for email IDs, and you keep looking and make a list. And it's very important to make a list because you don't want to look for them again. The next time you release a song, you just want to select that list, copy paste it, and send those emails.
Yeah.
And it's very good to send one email in advance before your song is released, at least a week before, I think.
Hmm.
Upload the song as an unlisted video on YouTube or a SoundCloud link, and just send it to people. And you can say that, hey, I'm this and this, I'm a singer songwriter, my song is releasing on this and this, and I would love to get your views about it, or I would love to know what you think.
Hmm.
Here's the link to it. Just start out like that, and if they're interested, and I think they'll reply. And if they don't, you can always send a follow-up email on the day it is released. So
Hmm.
you can say like, hey, the song released, I would love to know what you think. And so I think if you do this consistently, people pay attention for sure. It's not like only the famous artists get publications, but for sure, if you have something interesting to work with, they will be interested to work with you.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people tend to attach song files and a lot of stuff. Do you think that is a good strategy, or do you think sending a link of some kind is a better strategy?
I learned this from you, and I think always sending a link is the best strategy because you don't want to send attachments in your email. It could even reach the spam before reaching them. So, they might not even look at it because no one
Exactly.
likes attachments in their emails.
Exactly. I mean, this is something that I keep harping about, but people sometimes don't get it. When you're first reaching out to somebody, you don't need to start sending them your attachments, your pictures, your photographs, your video, everything. I mean, it's just like,
Exactly.
oh my God, who are you and why are you sending me everything when I'm not asked for it? And even when
Right.
someone asks me, even for my pictures or my logos or whatever, I send them a link, because
Exactly.
why do you want to clog up their mailbox? You know?
Yeah, and links help not only them but also you. So if you have Dropbox or Google Drive, you'll be very organized if you just have a single link to a folder where everything is there, and you won't
Exactly.
have to go looking for them every time you send an email. So it
Exactly.
helps you as well.
Exactly. So, I mean, tell us with the COVID and how things are going, what are some of the things that have kind of, I mean, taking out the music has been great for you, but what's the
Yeah.
drawback? Like, has it kind of also, I mean, is it something that you feel, okay, I can keep taking out songs every month? Or do you feel like there is this, okay, enough is enough, bahut ho gaya, or I'm getting burnt out, or I have no inspiration? I don't know. Or is this something that there's some people who are getting extra inspired, during this time?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
do you feel you're at? Or has that
So,
changed?
when COVID started and when the lockdown started, I was definitely extra inspired. I was writing a song every day, and it never ended basically for me. But now it has been like 2 or 3 months, and I don't know what to do with myself. I'm learning how to cook and doing different things. I finished all the TV shows that exist, and I'm my songwriting has also slowed down because I don't have any new experiences which I can write about.
Yeah.
I haven't done that much in life in the past 2 3 months. So that applies to everyone, I think, and everyone is getting a bit burnt out by this long break to the regular life we have,
Yeah.
and routines are getting kind of messed up. But we'll come out fine after this, I think.
Yeah, we will come out fine. But it does, first 1 month you're like, hey, I'm a homebody, it's all good. Second month you're like,
Exactly.
okay, chalega. And then third month you're like, God damn it, how long is this going to go? And now we're what, in the
Exactly.
fifth month
Exactly.
or something?
Yeah, that was me because I'm an introvert, and I'm not a huge fan of socializing. I like to stay at home. So I was, not glad, but I was fine with the lockdown happening. I was like, this is just my normal life anyway, so I just keep living normally. But it's been 3 months, and now I kind of want to go out, which is very weird because I never felt like that ever.
Yeah, I think it's also like, like you said, inspiration. Like, you write about experiences, you write about what you feel. And right now,
Yeah.
our feelings and experiences are very limited. It's like, oh, I
Exactly.
liked Indian matchmaking. Oh, I hated Indian matchmaking. That's the conversation. I'm like, is that really what our life has become? Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So before we end this podcast, there is a new song that you are about to release. Would you be open to having a sneak preview of that on this podcast, or would you like
Oh
us to
yeah.
play some other song of yours?
No, no, I would love to give you a sneak peek of this song.
All right. So tell us about the song. Tell us when it's coming out, and yeah, and then we'll have a listen to it.
Yeah, sure. So this song is kind of my most emotional song yet, and this song is very special to me. So basically, this song is called "Try," and I wrote this song after my father passed away. Uh, it was very sudden, and we were all very shocked, and I didn't know what to do. So I just wrote this song. I'm not a very good person to tell my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really open that way. So I think most artists are like that they just write their feelings in their songs,
Exactly.
and it kind of works that way. So this is what I felt during that time, and kind of now also that we like bad things will happen in life, and we just got to try and move forward with the things that we have and remember the loved ones that we had. It's kind
Yeah.
of like that.
Yeah.
So this
All
is
right.
that.
That sounds beautiful. All right. Let's listen to the sneak peek. Oh, and when is it going to be out?
It's going to be out on 22nd August, which is my dad's birthday.
Wow. So, yes, you guys are getting a very early sneak peek to it. So, let's listen to this song and we'll be back after this.
I left behind things peace will mind. life of what we will find, and I will try to pick up the pieces of the life you left behind, fighting the chance to live a normal life, to find the world, to hide a lonely life. Oh, we'd hope to try. I feel alive that lives inside. I need the pieces left behind to find time to rise, and I will try to pick up the pieces of the life you left behind, fighting the chance to live a normal life, to find, leaving the world without a doubt in mind. We'd hope to try. And why does time fly? And why do we die? Why pieces left behind of the life inside, and in the end, nothing matters but how you live, and at time's end, leaving people that will give your life meaning. Try to live when you walk out their life and leave them behind. You try.
Well, thank you so much, Anchit, for being here on our podcast. And I'm Ritnika Nain. If you wish to follow us on social media, please head on over to MGMH India on all platforms. Take care. Bye.